On January 28th, 1986, the Space Shuttle Challenger broke apart 73 seconds into its flight, resulting in the loss of all 7 crew members on board. The subsequent investigation revealed that the disaster was caused by the failure of an O-ring seal on the right solid rocket booster. The O-rings, which were designed to prevent hot gases from escaping during ignition, failed to seal properly. This allowed hot gases to breach the seal, leading to the catastrophic failure of the shuttle's external fuel tank. The Challenger disaster led to a temporary suspension of the Space Shuttle program and a thorough reevaluation of NASA's safety procedures and organizational culture. It also prompted significant changes in the way NASA conducted missions, including improvements in communication, decision-making processes, and safety protocols. My mother taught satellite safety at Kirtland Air Force Base, and here are some sources he had that I wanted to share. First is the internal document from Morton Thiatok Incorporated, and this was an internal letter from a whistleblower asking the higher-ups for help. The first word is help, and saying that the task force for the SEAL team is not getting the help they need and is getting pushback from other teams, and they were not ready for the Challenger mission. Second is an article that follows the 2 whistleblowers who tried to keep the launch from happening, and their objections were completely overruled by higher-ups, by the managers who insisted that they were trying to accommodate the customer, who was NASA. And that night, a top official sent a telefax to Florida justifying the launching, and at 10:38 the next day, the Challenger lifted off and soon crashed. Second is following those 2 whistleblowers again, who were eventually given their jobs back after investigations. Here is a internal document about how there was no real safety teams at NASA, or that they weren't properly reviewing any of the safety concerns or issues that were brought up. They were just kind of ignored by everybody. And that was found out after committee hearings. Here is an executive summary for the rules and safety after the Challenger mission. So after that, NASA decided to really step up their safety game, and here are the safety protocols that they put in place. Avoid loss of life, injury, or personnel damage and property loss. Instill a safety awareness in all NASA employees and contractors. Assure that an organized and systematic approach is utilized to identify safety hazards, and that safety is fully considered from conception to completion of all agency activities. Review and evaluate plans, systems, and activities related to establishing and meeting safety requirements both by contractors and by NASA installations to ensure that desired objectives are effectively achieved. So this is just really hammering home the safety, saying to listen to everybody, to make sure with everybody that safety is the top priority. And then here is another summary about the head managers agreeing that the engineers were saying that there was a problem with the O-ring, and that that they were not listening to the engineers, even though they knew more about O-rings than they did. This goes into my future as an engineer, because when I make a call about a unsafe practice in the future, I want to be sure that the company I work for, or whoever I'm reporting to, actually has a proper system in place for that complaint to get to somebody and actually make a difference. It's really unfortunate to hear how much these 2 whistleblowers did and tried to warn people about how intense this failure could have been. And it got to the point where one of the whistleblowers brought a gun to work because he wanted to keep people hostage from sending this rocket up, and his instinct was right. They both knew exactly what they were talking about. And I hope that that something like that is avoidable, because it's completely avoidable. And